I am watching WWF St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999. This was in February of 1999. I watched the Royal Rumble of 1999, which was a very entertaining event. It had a legendary match on that show, The Rock versus Mankind I Quit match. If you haven't seen that match, you definitely need to go and watch that match. One of the greatest matches of all time, and probably one of the best endings to a match ever. Very violent, very brutal, but amazing to watch. Now, in that match, The Rock regained the WWF Championship. But I believe here, on this show, Mankind at some point got the WWF Championship back. I believe. We will see. I actually don't know everything that's going on this show. I don't know all the matches, anything. I believe it's Mr. McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a steel cage match. I think that's the main event. I know The Rock and Mankind have a match on this show for the WWF Championship. But other than that, I don't remember what's on the show, and that's why I'm just going to watch it and see what it's like. Obviously, you know, the Attitude Era was an awesome time, and like I said, the Rumble of 99, entertaining show. Let's see how entertaining this is. I'm sure it'll be great. And they just showed the opening promo video. It was just focusing on the Austin versus McMahon feud because that's the main event. I think Mr. McMahon was in too many matches this year that were main events on pay-per-views. I don't think Mr. McMahon should be in main events on pay-per-views. Or really anybody like McMahon. Like, I remember one time John Laurinaitis was in a main event against John Cena, and it was a terrible match. Like, why would they do that to the fans? There's no reason to do that. I mean, you have Rock and Mankind on this show. Why don't you have them main event? All right, the pyro just went off. Packed arena. Michael Cole on commentary. Memphis, Tennessee is where this show is. First WWF pay-per-view in this arena. Jerry the King Lawler is with Michael Cole at the commentary table. Last man standing match for the WWF Championship between The Rock and Mankind. Because remember, this is the show that is in between Royal Rumble 1999 and WrestleMania 15. So this is a pivotal show. This is the last stop on the road to WrestleMania. So this is where we're supposed to find out who's going to be the champion heading into WrestleMania. And I think the Austin McMahon steel cage match, there's probably a stipulation there about whether Austin gets to go on to face the WWF champion at WrestleMania. But of course, this is the Attitude Era, so it was car crash TV, and anything could happen on Raw. So whatever happens on this show, the very next night, everything can get blown up, and you could see a totally different, unpredictable WrestleMania card come the next night. You know, it's like, that's the thing, you know, with the WWF at this time, like, you just didn't know what was going to happen on each show. It's like you'd watch Raw from week to week, and you never knew where the story was going, who was going to end up competing at the next pay-per-view, who was going to be competing for a title. It was edge of your seat entertainment. These days, things are a lot more predictable because the storylines are long-term, and they don't take a lot of risks in terms of doing like surprise title changes. They don't really do stuff like that anymore. I wish they did. So right now, Goldust just came out. Goldust, who I believe is currently in AEW as Dustin Rhodes or Dustin Runnels. Oh, here comes the Blue Meanie. Right, the Goldust and Blue Meanie had a feud at this time, and here's the Blue Meanie as Bluedust, coming out in a blonde wig and a blue robe. He's got blue pyro. They're just showing highlights from a show the night before. They had Raw on Saturday night. And Gilbert apparently beat Goldust the night before because of interference by the Blue Meanie. Now, obviously, Goldust wants revenge on the Blue Meanie. And he just hits a spine buster on Blue Meanie to start the match. Blue Meanie, obviously best known for his time in ECW. You can still see the gold confetti dropping from the ceiling, from the entrances of these two guys. Goldust has Blue Meanie in the corner. Elbows. Teddy Long is the referee. Goldust, punch to Blue Meanie. Blue Meanie is wearing a ridiculous outfit, like a onesie. Now Bluedust, or Blue Meanie, rolled out of the ring and just playing to the crowd. See, things were a lot more silly back then. I miss that. There's not enough fun going on in matches these days. Things are taken too seriously. Goldust went outside the ring to go after the Blue Meanie and throw him back inside. Both back inside now. Ooh, drop kick by Blue Meanie to the knee of Goldust. And he's working on the leg now, Blue Meanie. And he's gyrating while he's doing it. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the fun that I'm talking about. Yeah. Again, working on the leg, gyrating, and he paid for it. Goldust kicked him off. And he just gave the Blue Meanie a wedgie, and he's slapping his rear end. See, now this is too much fun from these guys. Okay, Goldust is going for Shattered Dreams on Blue Meanie. Let's see if he hits it. Bluedust got down in time to avoid Shattered Dreams by Goldust. All right, now Blue Meanie might be trying to hit a moonsault here. My goodness, he got the moonsault but missed it because Goldust rolled out of the way. And Goldust looking for the curtain call. 1, 2, 3. That's it. It's over. See, short and sweet and to the point. That was a nice match. Only a couple minutes long, entertaining. I like that. You know, they did a handful of moves, they did some character work, and that's it. Uh-oh, now Goldust is going for Shattered Dreams. Match is over, by the way. Bell has rung. But, you know, Goldust wants to make the crowd happy. They're cheering him on, and he just hit Shattered Dreams on Blue Meanie. That's a shame. What a way to celebrate a victory. Now Blue Meanie is crumpled over in the corner. I'm telling you, this stuff during 1999 was just, everything was great. It was just so funny. Okay, now they've cut away to a segment from earlier in the night on Sunday Night Heat before the pay-per-view. Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels are in the ring. Shawn Michaels was the commissioner at this time. And Steve Austin, here he comes walking out, wearing camo gear and some blue jeans and a camo hat. Vince McMahon is trying to provoke Austin into striking him because there's some rule that if Austin strikes McMahon, he gets fired. Now, McMahon just spit in the face of Steve Austin. Wow. And, you know, I gotta say, I like that opener. Blue Meanie and Goldust in a very short match. Now, if that was a longer match, I probably wouldn't have liked it. And when they had those two coming out to open the show, I was kind of like, are these the guys you really want opening the show? Because it's probably not going to be the best wrestling match. But they kept it short. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. Not every match has to be 15 minutes long. You know how many times WWE puts on shows? I know they only do like 5 matches on a premium live event these days, but still, like, some of these matches are way too long. I'd rather you add a couple matches, maybe not a couple matches, like, oh yeah, like 2 or 3 more matches, make the matches a little shorter, have the main event be the big draw and have it be a long match, but you don't gotta have like every match on the show be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's like, not every match deserves that much time. I mean, no offense, but do you really want to see Bayley versus Nia Jax for a long time? All right, WWF Hardcore Championship match. Now, Al Snow is coming out. He's got head. I believe, actually, I don't know who was the Hardcore Champion at this time. Oh, they're saying that Road Dogg, who was the Hardcore Champion, got injured. And so now this match is for the vacant Hardcore title. I think this is Bob Holly. I think both of these guys are in the job squad. Whew. Yeah, both of these guys are wearing job squad gear. Poof. Al Snow just threw Bob Holly out of the ring. Al Snow already has a steel chair. Ooh, chair shot to the head of Hardcore Holly. Man, those always look brutal. I mean, you never get used to seeing somebody get hit in the head with a steel chair. Because, see, that's when you start feeling bad for the human being behind the performer. Because it's like, you know, they're doing damage to their head. So... they're fighting out in the crowd. Bob Holly has a chair. Oof. Oh, Bob Holly has it. Fire extinguisher, just used it. Oh my goodness, he just like broke a glass jar or glass bottle on Al Snow's head. Oh, Al Snow just turned the tables, took the fire extinguisher, used it on Bob Holly. Yeesh. And they're now backstage. They're already backstage. Bob Holly just threw Al Snow into like some wooden box. And, oh. Bob Holly just threw Al Snow into a trash can, picks up the trash can, hits Al Snow with it. And now they're going through some double doors. Oh, almost. Oh, Al Snow just hit Bob Holly with a payphone. He just hit Bob Holly with like a plastic garbage can. And again. Holy cow. He just broke like a tile. That's like two, like floor tiles over Al Snow's head. Broke two of them. They shattered. Wow. Okay. Now, oh jeez. Bob Holly just picked up like this metal cooler and threw it at Al Snow's head. Okay. Al Snow just broke a mop handle over, and that's the second mop handle over Bob Holly's back. And now a third mop broken. Oh, going for the pin, Al Snow. Bob Holly kicks out at 2. Now Al Snow's got Bob Holly, throws him into the side of a WWF truck. Like an 18-wheeler truck. There was a sign for a fire lane, and Bob Holly just threw Al Snow into it, broke it. Then Bob Holly picked up the fire line sign and has now hit Al Snow twice in the back with it. Brutal shots. Now Bob Holly is stomping Al Snow. Oh, goes for a cover. Al Snow kicks out at 2. Okay, they're out in like this. There's like a road right outside of the arena. They're fighting in the middle of the road. It's like so dark out there. They're climbing some hill now, and there's like a cement wall there. Bob Holly just threw Al Snow into like a fence, and then the fence broke. The name of this arena is the Pyramid in Memphis. Again into a fence. Al Snow throws Holly into a fence. Okay, Al Snow has wrapped some barbed wire around the throat of Hardcore Holly. Jeez. I like this show so far. 2 fun matches to start the show. Okay, now Bob Holly has a broken stop sign. Oh, hits Al Snow with it. You can see the river is right there. There's water right there. Okay, he's got a wheelbarrow, Bob Holly. Whoa. Ooh. Bob Holly just broke a stick off of on Al Snow's back. They're right near the water now. Jeez. They're just fighting in like the wooded area right next to the river. These hardcore matches are the greatest. Al Snow is punching Bob Holly. Again, now they're right at the bank of the river. The Mississippi River. Al Snow is choking Bob Holly. He's got Bob Holly down. Beating him up, punches, and throws him into the river. And the crowd is going crazy. Oh, and then Al Snow just dove in right with him. They're both fighting in the river now. Bob Holly is slamming Al Snow's head into a tire that's there. You see, these are the kind of moments that go down in history. Fighting in the Mississippi River for the WWF Hardcore Championship. It's probably freezing. It was February at this time. February 1999. Al Snow looks like he's freezing. Al Snow is trying to what? He's got some, oh my gosh. Bob Holly just basically knocked out Al Snow. 1, 2, oh, Al Snow just got the shoulder up. Well, okay, now Bob Holly's in control. He's got this rolled up fence, this rolled up steel fencing. He's trying to unroll the rolled up fence. But that gave Al Snow enough time to recover. Now he's hitting him with shots in the kidneys. Oh. Bob Holly is fighting back with a stick. Oh, Bob Holly kick. Another kick. Another kick. And now Al Snow is laying down in that rolled up fence. And Bob Holly is rolling him up in that fence. 1, 2, 3. Bob Holly wins the WWF Hardcore Championship. I think this is shortly before he becomes Hardcore Holly. Or this is probably the title reign where he becomes Hardcore Holly. So see, this show I like so far. They had a nice short match with Goldust and Blue Meanie. To the point, they got it done. That got the crowd warmed up. Then they got this hardcore title match where 90% of the match didn't even take place in the arena. And, that was fun. It's like a variety show. Things are so different from each other. Which is another big deal because that's what differentiates it from today's WWE, where a lot of the stuff you see looking the same, a lot of people wrestle in a similar way, similar moves. this was at a time where everybody kind of had their own distinctive style and their own thing going on, their own characters, their own stories, their own way of wrestling. So different is better, and it holds your attention better, because if you're watching match after match where everybody pretty much wrestles the same way, and that's one of the problems with the NXT system, is that, you know, they're all getting taught by the same people. So there's going to be a lot of sameness. There's going to be a lot of similar philosophies about how to wrestle. That's not what was going on at this time. So Bob Holly, hardcore champion. I don't know what match is coming up next, but I like the show so far. Better than the Rumble of '99. I mean, they had some basic matches to start the show, but this one's better, because they had two really funny matches to start the show. Oh, now they're showing backstage, Undertaker, Ministry of Darkness. Undertaker is telling Mideon that he's going to face Boss Man, and he's telling Mideon to take Boss Man's soul. He also mentioned that the power from beyond spoke to him. That's what the Undertaker just mentioned. I think that's one of the early references to this higher power that the Undertaker answers to. And that was a huge mystery for a long time in the WWF, many months. Who was the higher power? Who was the Undertaker answering to? We find out later that it was Vince McMahon. So it's not really a spoiler, because this happened more than 25 years ago. So here comes Big Boss Man. So we're going to get this match right now. So we'll see what Mideon does to Big Boss Man, or the other way around. See, again, this was at a time when you didn't really see a lot of, you know, technical wrestling, these shows weren't really about the matches themselves. It was really more about the characters and the stories. And the matches were just like there, but they achieved their purpose. It's like the more that the people care about your characters, the less they have to do in the ring to like impress them, because the crowd already cares about them and the match. Like, I care already about seeing Mideon and Big Boss Man, not only because I like these performers, because I'm not saying they're the best wrestlers in the world, but they're just interesting characters. And The Undertaker just said Mideon is supposed to take Boss Man's soul. And Mideon just brought like a jar down to ringside, and it has like an eyeball in it. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is kind of fun stuff. Okay, now Mideon, Boss Man match has begun. Let's see what goes on here. Let's see if there's an appearance by the Ministry of Darkness. I know Undertaker goes on to face Big Boss Man in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 15. But let's see what happens here. Mideon has a side headlock on Boss Man. Mideon. He's trying to... Oh, Boss Man just poked Mideon in the eyes. Boss Man is just landing punches, a whole bunch of unanswered punches on Mideon in the corner. Now he's got his foot on Mideon's throat. And he just spit on Mideon. See, that's all you gotta do. You don't gotta do fancy flips and stuff. And Boss Man just told the crowd to kiss his you know what. Alright, Irish whip to Mideon. Mideon reverses, Boss Man in the corner, and Mideon hits a clothesline on Boss Man. Now Mideon's landing punches. Bunch of same thing, unanswered punches in the corner. Oh. And it looks like Boss Man might have went low on Mideon. It looked like a low blow, but the referee's not too sure about it, so the match continues. Boss Man throws Mideon outside the ring. Now Boss Man's outside the ring. He's got a steel chair. I don't think this is no DQ. Oh, he misses because Mideon moves out of the way. He hits the turnbuckle post. Mideon bit Boss Man's fingers and slammed his hand into the steel steps. Oh, Boss Man just hit a hangman on Mideon when he tried to go back in the ring. So now Boss Man is laying in the ring, and he just rolled out, and he's going to make Mideon pay for biting his fingers. Now the crowd is chanting, "Boss Man sucks." Remember, Boss Man is Vince McMahon's right-hand man at this time. It's corporate security. Part of the corporation. Vince McMahon's stable. The Rock was also in Vince McMahon's corporation. Ken Shamrock, Test. Yeah, you had a couple stables at this time. You had Ministry of Darkness, you had the Corporation, you had D-Generation X. Probably some others too. Oh, Job Squad, if you want to... Yeah, that's true. They're stable. Mideon's got Boss... Oh, okay. No, Boss Man got out of the corner. No. Boss Man is fighting back against Mideon. Mideon, formerly known as Phineas Godwin. Part of the Godwins. Former tag team champion. Boss Man just threw Mideon in the corner, hit a big splash, and Mideon is now face down on the mat. By the way, Boss Man looks in incredible physical condition. If you remember what Boss Man used to look like in the 1980s, he had so much fat on his body. He lost so much weight. Boss Man slides out of the ring and punches Mideon in the face. Mideon was leaning on the second rope. I think the crowd is chanting boring. Now Boss Man has a full Nelson on Mideon. Nope. Oh, wow. Mideon just hit like a suplex on Bossman. Goes for the cover. Bossman gets the shoulder up at 2. All right, Mideon is he's mounted on Bossman, punching Bossman in the face. Mideon. Another punch to Bossman. Now Bossman's fighting back. My guess is that Bossman's going to win this one. Because I think that leads to a feud with The Undertaker. Oh. Mideon hit a back body drop on Bossman. Oh, double clothesline. Both guys are down. They're both on their knees punching each other in the face. Mideon and Bossman. All right, they're back up. Mideon, Irish whip, and hits an elbow on the Bossman. Mideon's calling for something here. That didn't work. That looked like a sidewalk slam, almost. Yeah, Bossman hit the sidewalk slam. He caught Mideon in midair, like in the middle of a move. Bossman hits sidewalk slam, gets the cover and the pin. 1, 2, 3, wins. But now here comes the Ministry of Darkness, Acolytes, Christian, Edge, Gangrel, the Brood. The light just went out, and Undertaker's music just started. So Bossman did get the win, and I believe this is gonna lead to some bad things for the Bossman here. See, that's what I like about this. This really is a show. You know, they know how to put on a show here. I don't know what WWE does these days. I wouldn't call that a show. I mean, you get a bunch of matches, but this is like a real show. This is like real theatrical, and like there's a story going on here. A very interesting story. This show has been very enjoyable so far. Undertaker has come out. He's wearing a black robe. Now the Ministry of Darkness, Viscera, Farouk, Bradshaw, Gangrel, Christian, Edge, Mideon, all beating up Bossman. Oh, wow. They just held Bossman down, and Viscera just hit a huge splash onto the Bossman, and hits a huge splash on the Bossman again. Viscera, third splash on the big Bossman. Undertaker standing outside the ring just watching. See, when I watch this, I feel like I'm getting something out of it, because I'm watching a real show with twists and turns, and, you know, you don't know what's going to happen next. Whereas, you know, today's WWE shows, they announce the matches ahead of time. They announce we're going to hear from this person, we're going to hear from that person, and then everything plays out exactly according to plan. There's no surprises. There's very little to no interesting things going on. It's totally different than what it was at this time. But this is my kind of stuff. You know, this is the kind of wrestling that I like. Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars, that type of stuff. So we had Blue Meanie, Goldust. That was fun. We had Al Snow, Hardcore Holly, or Bob Holly, for the Hardcore Championship. That was fun because they went into the Mississippi River. They were fighting in like this wooded area, hitting each other with sticks and stuff, and throwing each other into fences. And then we had Boss Man versus Mideon, which was, well, a real basic match. Nothing much went on. I could kind of understand why the crowd was shining boring. But again, they kept it short. You see, they didn't go on and on forever. Oh, they're showing an advertisement for WrestleMania 15. Remember, this was when WWF, or, that's what it was called at the time, not WWE, they were at a peak level of popularity. So many millions of people would watch every Monday night to watch Raw. And, as 1999 and 2000 went on, I mean, the company was the unbelievable popularity. Kevin Kelly is interviewing D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. And they've got Ivory with them. Ivory is there because Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart have Deborah in their corner. And she's going to keep an eye on Deborah. See, a real basic setup, so we know what to look for in this next match. I believe this is for the tag titles, which are held by Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. Ivory is very underrated. She was always in peak physical condition, great on the microphone, an entertaining character. She used to compete in Glow. I mean, I don't really remember her having outstanding wrestling matches, but maybe that's because she didn't have the right level of competition. Ivory probably would have done very well in today's environment because she's an extremely athletic woman. But she was around during the bra and panties era of the women's division. She did manage to capture the women's championship, though. Okay, here they come. Jeff Jarrett, Owen Hart, Deborah. Deborah was a very popular manager during 1999. Everybody wanted her to show her puppies, if you know what those are. Especially Jerry the King Lawler wanted her to show them. And as the year wore on, she wore very revealing outfits on some pay-per-views. Like, if you check out Fully Loaded 1999, check out SummerSlam 1999. Look at what Deborah's wearing. She's wearing like a bikini with like jewels hanging from the whatever. But hey, you know, this is the kind of stuff that made people want to watch the show. I mean, this was red-blooded, testosterone-fueled entertainment. And I loved every second of it, and so did millions of other people. All right, this match is about to start. Owen Hart and Mark Henry are starting the match. Owen Hart slapped Mark Henry. Mark Henry threw him in the corner. He's landing shots on Owen Hart. Oh, Mark Henry, clothesline to Owen Hart. D'Lo Brown tags in. Now he just punched Owen Hart to the mat. Irish whip to Owen Hart, elbow by D'Lo Brown. $1999 was a great year for D'Lo Brown and Jeff Jarrett and Mark Henry. Unfortunately, Owen Hart passed away only a few months after this show. Oh, Bulldog by Owen Hart. Owen Hart tags in Jeff Jarrett. I like Jeff Jarrett, by the way. You know, a lot of people, they say negative things about Jeff Jarrett, and maybe as a person, maybe he has done some things in the past that maybe he regrets, and maybe he's rubbed people the wrong way. I don't know. But as a performer, I always enjoyed his matches and what he could do. He was able to have a great match with Chyna at No Mercy 1999. You should go check that out. That was actually his last match in the company before he went to WCW. I think that might actually be my favorite Jeff Jarrett match. Jeff Jarrett, Chyna, No Mercy 1999. And I credit Jeff Jarrett for that match because, you know, no offense to Chyna, but it's like Jeff Jarrett made Chyna look great in that match. Jeff Jarrett just took down D'Lo Brown with an armbar takedown. Stomping D'Lo Brown, and Jeff Jarrett is taunting Mark Henry. Tag to Owen Hart. Double clothesline to D'Lo by Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. Oh, man, they just did a wishbone on D'Lo. I think they're calling Owen Hart a nugget. You know, one of the things Owen used to always say is, "Don't call me a nugget," or "I am not a nugget." That was one of his catchphrases. Spine buster by Owen Hart. Elbow by D'Lo Brown. By Jeff Jarrett on D'Lo Brown. And by the way, Jeff Jarrett still wrestles to this day. He just recently had a match against Bryan Danielson in AEW. You know, credit to Jeff Jarrett. You know, still in great physical condition to this day, and he wrestles a very smart style so that his body doesn't get destroyed. He wrestled a smart style back then. He wrestles a smart style today. And that's why he's in his 50s, still having matches, while other guys his age are retired. Long retired. There's not a ton of guys still left from this era that are still active wrestlers. You got Jeff Jarrett, you got Billy Gunn, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho wrestles more than both of those guys. But hey, credit to all those guys for still doing it. Enziguri by Owen Hart on D'Lo Brown. Owen went for the cover. D'Lo kicked out at 2. And D'Lo's got to get a tag. That's funny that Mark Henry is going to be the one getting the hot tag. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart keep double teaming D'Lo. Jeff Jarrett's got a hold on D'Lo Brown. A rest hold in the middle of the ring. Mike Chioda, the referee, asking D'Lo if he wants to give up. D'Lo Brown is fighting his way back into it. D'Lo elbows to Jeff Jarrett. Punches to Jeff Jarrett. D'Lo Brown. Ooh, spinning heel kick by Owen Hart on D'Lo Brown. Owen goes for the cover. Mark Henry's got to get the tag at some point here. He's got to get the hot tag. Let's see what that looks like with Mark Henry getting the hot tag. Oh. Jeff Jarrett choking D'Lo. Another double team by Owen and Jarrett. Owen is the legal man. Owen is headbutting D'Lo. Oh. D'Lo. Lateral press. Goes for the cover. And Owen Hart kicks out. D'Lo Brown just hit one of his finishing maneuvers sky high on Owen Hart. It's sort of like he gets the guy in a powerbomb position in the corner, and then it's like a running powerbomb. But in this case, it was more like a walking powerbomb because D'Lo Brown is exhausted from getting beaten up and double teamed by Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. So D'Lo's got to get the hot tag to Mark Henry. Let's see if he gets it. Owen also is trying to get a tag to Jeff Jarrett. Owen got the tag to Jeff, and D'Lo got the tag to Mark Henry. Here comes Mark. Wow, this is not much of a hot. This is not much of a hot tag. I mean, he's knocking down Jeff and Owen. That's a weird choice to make. Oh, actually, it's not because they couldn't have beaten down Mark Henry the way they beat down D'Lo. Mark is too big. Oh, heel kicks by D'Lo on Jeff and Owen. Oh, low down. I mean, I don't know if that's like a... That's another one of D'Lo's moves. Not low down, something else. Sky high? I don't know what that was. Leg drop by D'Lo Brown on Owen. Anyway, he hit that finishing move on Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett kicked out. Or maybe Owen broke up the pin. I don't know. Oh, here comes Deborah. Deborah's trying to distract D'Lo Brown, but here comes Ivory. Ivory is here. Oh, wow. Jeff Jarrett hit Mark Henry in the knee with the guitar, locked in the figure four leg lock, and Mark Henry immediately taps out. So, Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart retain the WWF Tag Team Championships. That was just like your average match. I mean, they beat down D'Lo for a while. D'Lo gets the hot tag to Mark Henry, but it doesn't work out because distraction from Deborah led to a distracted referee where Jeff Jarrett used the guitar on Mark Henry's knee and was able to win using the figure 4 leg lock. Oh, now Ivory is ripping the clothes off of Deborah because she caused this to happen. So Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart retained the WWF Tag Team Championships. Ivory was not successful in ripping off all of Deborah's clothes, but she almost got the jacket off. Anyway, so they're headed to the back. Ivory looks furious. Mark Henry is in tremendous pain. They kept the tag titles. Yes, Deborah's bra was exposed. That's the most that the crowd gets here. So next up, we're going to see an interview with Mankind by Kevin Kelly. Mankind is the WWF champion. Heading into the show, he has a last man standing match with The Rock. I think that tag match was probably the weakest match on the show so far. It's starting to dip the energy because they started off good with the with the first 2 matches, which were fun, and now there's been a dip because Mideon and Bossman was sort of just average, and tag match was like your typical tag match that you would see on Raw. Only difference is this was for the tag titles. Okay, here we go. Mankind. Mankind suffered a knee injury on Sunday Night Heat right before the pay-per-view started. Oh, the Rock came. The Rock is attacking Mankind's knee. Mankind is taking this match very seriously, and he's got a game plan for the last man standing match. Oh, this was at a time when you could send your cable bill to the WWF and they would give you like a free gift for buying the pay-per-view. So in this case, you could get a free photo magnet. They also used to give you posters. They gave, like, I remember one time they gave out like a Mr. Sacco. And those things were nice touches for the WWF, you know, to show that they appreciate the fans who buy the pay-per-views. Pay-per-views back then were like $30, I think, $30. So $30 a month. It's not bad. Not bad for a WWF show. When you think about, eventually WrestleManias became like super expensive to buy, which, and they became expensive at a time when they weren't even worth watching. These days, luckily, they have the premium live events on the streaming services. So they have it on Peacock. Originally, it was on WWE Network, and I like that better. I just because a lot of times the WWE Network was $9.99 a month, which is even cheaper than what the pay-per-views used to be. Plus, you get the whole library that the WWE has. So, or not the whole thing, but you get like a million different events and shows, and it was definitely worth it. And nowadays, Peacock, you can get the ad-supported version for like $6.99 a month, something like that. It's funny how things got cheaper. I don't know how that happened. So Billy Gunn is coming out here to be the special guest referee for a match between, I believe, Ken Shamrock and Val Venis. Now, at the Royal Rumble of '99, Billy Gunn faced Intercontinental Champion Ken Shamrock for the title. Ken Shamrock won, and Val Venis got involved in that match, but still, Ken Shamrock still won and hurt Billy Gunn's ankle. Now here comes Billy. He's got the mic. Here comes Val Venis. Is this for the Intercontinental Championship? I'm guessing it is. Yes, it is. Val Venis is challenging for the Intercontinental title. Here comes Val out in a towel. He's with Ryan Shamrock. Ryan Shamrock wasn't actually Ken Shamrock's sister. Val Venis is doing his signature ring entrance with the towel. Now Val's got the microphone. These days, Val Venis, who I don't believe, he doesn't wrestle anymore. He's super skinny. At this time in the WWF, Val Venis was enormous. He was in tremendous physical condition. Here comes Ken Shamrock, Intercontinental Championship, around his waist. And he looks like he's about to destroy everybody. No, he's running to the ring. Here we go. Ken and Val. All right, so there's some bad blood here. Oh, this is a fast-paced match. Whoa. This might end up being the best match on the show so far. chop to Ken Shamrock by Val. Billy Gunn mooned Ken Shamrock's sister a few weeks ago. So all these guys are involved in a variety of ways. Okay, Val goes for the cover. 1, 2 count by Billy Gunn. Oh, Ken Shamrock just did a hard Irish whip to Val Venis, and you heard the turnbuckle when Val hit it. They're listing all of Ken Shamrock's accolades in the WWF. I mean, this was at a time when, you know, Ken was right under the main event. He was right on it. Obviously, he was the Intercontinental Champion. And people thought maybe there were great things in his future. I mean, he had a strong year in 1998 and in late 97. But it just never materialized into anything. Later in 1999, he just disappeared from TV, and that was it. Ken Shamrock in control of this match. Ken Shamrock still in control here. Billy Gunn is telling Ken Shamrock to get back inside the ring. Ken Shamrock was hitting elbows on Val Venis outside the ring. Now Billy Gunn's telling him to get inside. Now Ken is getting inside. Val's on the outside. I don't think Billy Gunn is counting out. I don't think he was counting out Val, but actually he was counting. Probably very slowly. He wants there to be a definitive ending to this match. Doesn't want to give Ken Shamrock an easy win here. Billy Gunn does not like Ken Shamrock, obviously. Ken is still in control here. Kicking Val Venis. They're both inside the ring now. Ken Shamrock, slam to Val Venis. Drops a knee on Val. The crowd's getting kind of quiet now because, again, the match before this one was nothing special. This one has yet to pick up. It started out fast. Now they're going real slow, and Ken is kind of dominating. Now Val Venis is trying to change the momentum. It's a standing suplex to Ken Shamrock. All right, inverted atomic drop by Val Venis on Ken. Val, Irish whip to Ken Shamrock, elbow. Drops another elbow on Ken. Goes for the cover. Billy Gunn, 1, 2, 2 count. Suplex by Val Venis on Ken. Val Venis had Ken Shamrock bent over his knee. Val Venis threw Ken Shamrock into the top turnbuckle, head first. All right, so Val is taking control. Now Val threw Ken outside the ring, picked him up. Ooh, slams him spine first into the turnbuckle post, and again does the same thing. Now Val just threw Ken back in the ring. And here comes Val. See if he can capitalize here. Now he's got like almost a camel clutch on Ken Shamrock. I mean, I don't want to make accusations, but I mean, I think all three of these guys are using steroids. But you never know, huh? I don't know. Take a look at Ken Shamrock, Billy Gunn, and Val Venis from 1999. Also, take a look at Billy Gunn today and Ken Shamrock today. And if you want to look at Val Venis today, he doesn't look anything like what he used to. He looks like he lost like literally probably 50, 60 pounds to what he is today. Val Venis still in control. Snapmare by Val Venis. He's got a rest hold on. Oh, he's going for a pin. Billy Gunn didn't even understand that it was a pin. And then he counted 2. Yeah, he just said he didn't know it was a pin. This is on pay-per-view, guys. Come on. Val Venis slams to Ken Shamrock. Man, this is such a basic match. Wow. Rest hold by Val Venis. This is almost like a house show match. Jeez. Come on, guys. It's pay-per-view. Give the fans something. And the guys in the lower card are outdoing the mid-carders. Blue Meanie, Goldust, Hardcore Holly, Al Snow are putting all these guys to shame. You know, Stevie Richards, who made occasional appearances during 1999, he said his contract was typically always $75,000 a year. That's pretty terrible. I mean, it's terrible because remember that's $75,000 gross income, and remember he works for himself, so you're going to take a lot out for taxes and other stuff. Not to mention, I think, what is it? Hotels, rental cars, food, and he had to be on like a strict budget just so that he would take home something and have some money saved. But this is probably the hardest way to make $75,000 a year, doing this. Traveling from city to city, destroying your body, putting yourself at risk for injury and brain damage, and you're only getting 75 grand for that. And when you take out taxes, it's like, might as well just get a desk job. But obviously, Stevie Richards was passionate about the business, and I'm sure all these guys are too. So they'll do whatever they have to do to be part of it. But man, if you're making $75,000 a year during the Attitude Era, when most of these guys were probably making millions, it's rough. Should have definitely taken home more than 75 grand a year. Come on. That's depressing. During the Attitude Era, man, imagine what The Rock was taking home in Austin, McFoley, Triple H. The guys who were at the top in 99 and 2000, Kurt Angle. DDT by Ken Shamrock on Val. Billy Gunn, 1, 2, and he didn't count the 3. Ken Shamrock had Val Venis beat, and Billy Gunn refuses to count the 3. Oh wow. Val Venis got up. He's got a sleeper on him. Val Venis got a sleeper on Ken. Ken Shamrock just countered, hit a backdrop on Val. Ooh, power slam by Ken Shamrock. Billy Gunn, 1, 2, and Val kicks out at 2. How is Ken Shamrock going to retain this championship with Billy Gunn doing all this stuff? Val Venis going for the fisherman suplex. He hit it. 2 count. Val Venis was Billy Gunn was slow to count there. Ken Shamrock goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Val kicks out. Side Russian leg sweep by Val Venis on Ken Shamrock. Crowd's starting to get into it because they're thinking Val might have a shot here. Now Val is standing over Ken, doing his signature taunt, gyrating. Well, I mean, that's a heck of a way to make a living. Although Val, I'm sure, was getting paid more than Stevie Richards. My guess is maybe a couple, 6 figures. Val was going for his finisher, the money shot, off the top rope, which is a big splash off the top rope. Ken Shamrock countered it, stopped him from doing it. Now Ken... Hurricane Rana on Val Venis. Belly to belly suplex. It's one of Ken Shamrock's signature moves. Now he's going for the ankle lock. Got it. He's got it in. Ankle lock locked in. You can see Ryan Shamrock standing outside the ring, I believe cheering on Val Venis. We'll see. She's pulling Val to the ropes. And she just helped Val get to the ropes, and Ken Shamrock is furious. Now, so Ken Shamrock got mad at his sister Ryan. Okay. So Ken Shamrock got mad at his sister. His sister slapped him. Billy Gunn gets in between them. Ken Shamrock attacks Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn attacks Shamrock. And then Ken Shamrock rolls in the ring. Val gets a pinfall attempt on him, and Billy Gunn hits a fast count, and Val Venis wins the Intercontinental Championship. Now Ken Shamrock is attacking Billy Gunn. That was one of the fastest 3 counts. Now Billy Gunn, now he's fighting Val Venis. Clothesline. Billy Gunn to Val Venis. Remember, Val is the new Intercontinental Champion. Obviously, Billy Gunn wants to be Intercontinental Champ. So this feud continues, and I believe it leads into WrestleMania. Ryan Shamrock is in the ring with Val Venis. You know, there was a funny moment where Ken Shamrock was yelling at his sister Ryan, and because he has to tell her, he says, slap me, and then she slaps him. Calling spots, come on. That's literally all she had to do. Like, did she not know that she was supposed to do that? He had to tell her. They're showing a Mr. Sacco t-shirt. So you can send a check to a P.O. box and they'll send you the t-shirt. Oh, how things were so different 25 years ago. By the way, WWE SmackDown was on tonight, and there's some dissension between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. And Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns need some backup in their fight against the Bloodline. Who are they going to ask for help? My guess is maybe Jey Uso, maybe Sami Zayn. That would be hilarious. My goodness, could you imagine? I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It would be so funny if they have a War Games match. Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso. Wait, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso against Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tangaloa, and Tama Tonga. Dude, that would be such an epic match, and I think that is what is going to happen. They're showing like a D-Generation X video package. So at this time, they're showing that Chyna joined the corporation, stabbing Triple H in the back. It's funny because they foreshadowed Chyna turning on D-Generation X. Because Chyna said if there's going to be a split in D-Generation X, she's going to be the one to initiate it. And she did. She is the one who turned on Triple H. So let's see what match is coming up here. Triple H is obviously involved. My guess is probably Triple H versus Kane, or Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane and Chyna. Let's see. D-Generation X is coming out right now. Yep, Triple H, X-Pac. It is, yeah. X-Pac was European champion at this time. He heads into WrestleMania. Oh, actually, I don't know if he heads into WrestleMania as European champion. I think Shane McMahon does. But here we're going to see Triple H and X-Pac against Kane and Chyna. Man, D-Generation X was so popular in the late 90s. The crowd is going nuts. And remember, they've had to sit through some kind of boring matches for like the past 30 minutes. But they are so excited to see Triple H and X-Pac. Man, these guys probably made a ton of money during the Attitude Era. They had the D-Generation X merchandise, which was flying off the shelves. And they were so popular. Triple H has the mic, asking the crowd if they're ready. It's so funny that Triple H started the year in 1999 as this babyface that the crowd loved. And midway through, he just turns into the most vicious heel. One of the most vicious heels in wrestling history. But not yet. Right now, tonight, he's a good guy. Triple H is calling out Chyna. Telling her to come out here. She was a traitor against D-Generation X. Here comes Kane's music. Kane was a huge star during the late 90s. I mean, especially 1999, his interactions with D-Generation X in 99 and then in 2000. And in 2001, he had like a star-making performance in the 2001 Royal Rumble match. People forget how good Kane was or how big of a star he was in the late 90s, and the crowd loved him. Because people forget, because he kind of turned into kind of a silly character eventually as corporate Kane, you know, many years later, and sort of like a guy who was just there because he took his mask off and he started wearing a suit. And now he's like a mayor in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is funny because this show is in Memphis. Little did they know that this guy would one day be a mayor in their state. The guy wearing the red jumpsuit and the mask. Here comes Chyna. Coming out to Vince McMahon, oh well, the corporation's theme music, No Chance in Hell. Ooh, shoot, people really booing her. All right, here we go. Bell just rang. Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane and Chyna. Triple H is wearing a Chyna t-shirt. And he just ripped it off. And threw it in Chyna's face. Oh, Shane McMahon has come down to ringside. Shane McMahon, part of the corporation. All right, now Triple H going after Kane. Oh, clothesline by Kane on Triple H. Kane's got Triple H in the corner. Kick, punch. On commentary, Shane McMahon is talking to Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole about the main event later tonight. The steel cage match between Mr. McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shane McMahon says his father is going to destroy Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kane tried to drop an elbow on Triple H. Triple H moved out of the way, and he tags in X-Pac. Here comes X-Pac. Now, X-Pac and Kane had a very interesting relationship and feud between 1999 and 2000. Because eventually D-Generation X turns heel near the end of the year when they join Triple H's regime after he marries Stephanie McMahon. I'm telling you, it's the greatest drama. Oh, Kane just tagged in Chyna. Now we got Chyna versus X-Pac. Let's see what happens here. Forearm by Chyna. X-Pac falls to the mat. Another forearm. Oh, X-Pac reverses, throws Chyna into the corner. He's going for the Bronco Buster, and Chyna moves out of the way. Ooh, the crowd was super excited. They thought they were about to see a Bronco Buster on Chyna. Close, but no cigar. Maybe later in this match. All right, now Kane just tagged himself into the match. So now we got Kane and X-Pac again. Oh, drop kick to Kane's knee. Kane is down to one knee. Kane just lifted X-Pac up by the throat. Triple H kicks him down. And now Triple H is fighting Kane. Now X-Pac is the legal man here. And now X-Pac tags in Triple H. Triple H landing punches on Kane. Goes to the top rope. How often do you see Triple H going to the top rope in his career? Clothesline to Kane. Didn't even knock him down. Yeah, this was at a time when Triple H was wrestling a different style. He switches it up later in the year. He wrestles a more main event style. No more going to the top rope or anything like that. Oh. Kane just punched Triple H. And Triple H just fell to the mat. Slam by Kane. Kane is now on the top rope. Clothesline to Triple H, which Kane does that move a lot throughout his career. Clothesline off the top. And remember, this guy's like 7 feet tall, 300 pounds. People underestimate how great these guys are in terms of athleticism. I mean, the body control this guy has for his size. Kane just tagged in Chyna. Chyna forearm to Triple H. And Triple H falls to the mat. And Chyna's trying to lift Triple H up for a suplex. Not working out. Triple H is blocking it. Triple H has Chyna up. Standing suplex. Oh no, Chyna got out of it. Forearm to Triple H. Scoop slam by Chyna on Triple H. Oh, she tried to drop an elbow on Triple H. Triple H moved. Triple H has Chyna by the hair now. And he just tagged in X-Pac. Are they going to double team him? Oh no. X-Pac has the arm of Chyna. And then Chyna just tagged in Kane. Anytime Chyna is in a little bit of trouble, she tags out. Which makes sense in the story. I mean, she is a heel. So she runs away from any trouble. Triple H and X-Pac are trying to double team Kane. And that almost... And yeah, they got him. Double suplex on Kane. Kane sits right back up. He's no selling it. Chyna got to the top rope. And Triple H throws Chyna into Kane. Kane catches her. Lets her down. And now Triple H and X-Pac. Double DDT. Clothesline to Kane. Oh, Kane and X-Pac outside the ring. Uppercut to X-Pac. Punch to X-Pac. Oh, wow. X-Pac just like clobbered Shane McMahon. I think this is the beginning of the Shane, or somewhere near the beginning of the Shane McMahon X-Pac feud, which leads into WrestleMania. And they have a match for the European title. Oh, X-Pac went for a spinning heel kick on Kane. It didn't work. Kane caught him. Oh, Shane McMahon. My guess is Shane McMahon is going to get involved in this match and probably cost DX the match. I had to take a guess. Kane, meanwhile, is in control of X-Pac right now. Shane McMahon is furious. Now Chyna tagged herself in. Scoop slam. Oh, no. She's going for a running power slam. She hits it on X-Pac. 1, 2. X-Pac kicks out at 2. Chyna just tagged in Kane. All right, Kane is okay. Obviously, they're going to be hammering X-Pac for a while here, and then Triple H is going to get the hot tag at some point. And then I think Shane McMahon might get involved. Oof. Yeah, Kane just clotheslined X-Pac. Kane just tagged in Chyna. They're having a real basic match so far. They're basically just gonna hammer X-Pac until he can make the tag to Triple H. Oh, wow. Chyna just forearmed Triple H. Triple H is standing on the ring apron. Remember, he's not the legal man. So now the referee's distracted, and Chyna picked up X-Pac and dropped him crotch first on the top rope. Then Kane knocked him down. Okay, Chyna has a cover on X-Pac. X-Pac kicks out at 2. Oh, X-Pac fighting back now. X-Pac kicks the ropes, and Chyna gets a sleeper on X-Pac. A sleeper on X-Pac. And Shane McMahon is cheering on Chyna at the commentary booth. Referee Tim White is checking X-Pac to see if he's still alive. And his arm dropped twice. If it drops one more time, this match is over. And X-Pac is still in it. Crowd is cheering. Crowd's going wild. And X-Pac fights back. Backdrop by Chyna. Backdrop by X-Pac on Chyna. Now X-Pac has to look for the tag to Triple H. X-Pac. Tag to Triple H. Oh, Triple H just punched Chyna in the face. Triple H is now punching Kane. Yep, Triple H got the hot tag, and here he goes. Whew, another punch to Chyna. Now everybody's in the ring. All 4 people. X-Pac, Kane, Triple H, Chyna. Ooh, Triple H he just threw Kane outside the ring over the top rope. Oh, wow. And X-Pac is going after Kane now. On the outside. It looks like the finish is coming soon. Here comes Triple H and Chyna. Oh, Chyna's fighting back, though. Triple H, knee to Chyna's face. Could be time for the pedigree, maybe? Oh no, Triple H went to hit the rope, but Kane brought him outside the ring. Now Kane's beating up Triple H. Kane and Triple H are fighting up the entranceway. And here comes, oh, whoa, X-Pac, Bronco Buster on Chyna. The crowd gets what they want. That's what they teased early in the match. And here comes Shane McMahon interfering, taking down X-Pac. Now X-Pac, he's running after Shane. So in the middle of this match, X-Pac just ran to the back to chase Shane McMahon. So now Triple H is alone with Kane and Chyna. And that's probably where the finish is going to happen right here. Chyna. Nope. Triple H knee right to Chyna's face. He's going for the pedigree. Kane is back in the ring. And he stops Triple H. Grabs him by the throat. Chokeslam to Triple H. And now he's going to put Chyna on top of Triple H. And the referee just counted the three. 1, 2, 3. Chyna pins Triple H. So Kane and Chyna defeat Triple H and X-Pac. Mainly because everything broke down at the end because of Shane McMahon's interference. The match itself was average. It was okay. I still think the best match of the night so far is probably the hardcore match between Al Snow and Hardcore Holly, because they went outside the arena and they fought in the Mississippi River. That's probably the most entertaining match so far. But we got big matches still left to go. We got Rock and Mankind for the WWF Championship. We got Austin and McMahon in a steel cage match. A last man standing match between The Rock and Mankind coming up next for the WWF Championship. Now remember, Mankind is the WWF Champion right now. The whole point of having this match is for them to have a definitive ending to this whole Rock-Mankind situation. This started back at Survivor Series 1998 when The Rock and Mankind met in the finals of a tournament to determine who the WWF champion was going to be. The Rock won the match, but only because he joined the corporation, turned into a bad guy, and joined Vince and Shane McMahon. And these guys have been feuding since then, trading the championship back and forth. They had an epic match at the Royal Rumble of 1999 in an I Quit match. Again, if you haven't seen that match, you got to check it out because it's awesome. And then now they have this last man standing match. This is the next chapter in their rivalry. That's what's coming up now. The Rock and Mankind had a bunch of like hardcore type matches during this time period. Obviously they had the I Quit match at the Royal Rumble, but they also had an empty arena match during halftime of the Super Bowl. They did that. That was another entertaining match. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. They had a match at Survivor Series 98. They had another match at rock bottom 1998 in December of 98. Oh no, now they're showing the recap of the whole Mankind Rock feud starting at Survivor Series 1998. The Rock is hugging Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon. This is November 1998. And Mankind was shocked because he thought Vince McMahon liked him. But that's not what happened. In December of 1998, The Rock and Mankind face each other for the title. Mankind locks in Mr. Sacco on The Rock. But since The Rock passed out, and since he didn't get pinned, he didn't tap out, he retained the championship. So then Mankind used Shane McMahon as like a ransom to get a title shot against The Rock because of the foolishness that happened. And thanks to interference by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind does the unthinkable, wins the WWF Championship. This is on Monday Night Raw, January 4th, 1999. So in order to get a rematch, The Rock has to compete in an I Quit match at the Royal Rumble, which he does, and they have one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. And then The Rock defeats Mankind, although it's under questionable circumstances. But they gave him the win, and he got the WWF Championship. You see, there was some controversy because Mankind didn't actually say the words, I quit. It's an I quit match. That's the only way to win. And Mankind never quit. So Mankind demanded that he get a rematch, and through some silliness, he finally got his rematch. Empty arena, halftime of the Super Bowl. Then they had such an entertaining match in that empty arena. Mankind wins the WWF Championship again. So that's why Mankind is champion heading into this match, which is a last man standing match against The Rock. That's what's coming up now. Oh, they say 19,000 people in the arena to watch this. Now they're showing a clip from earlier in the night. Mick Foley was training with some legends. I think Dominic DeNucci and the Iron Sheik, training for his match. And then The Rock decided to attack Mankind to give him an advantage in the match. So he's attacked Mankind's knee. Yeah, they're just showing him. He was really attacking The Rock. The Rock was really attacking Mankind and trying to destroy that knee. Nobody's stopping The Rock. That's the funny part. All right, last man standing. Here we go. No holds barred. The match keeps going until one guy cannot answer a 10 count from the referee. Here comes The Rock. He is the challenger here. This is another match where The Rock wears like workout clothes. He has this like zipper up, like, oh no. He doesn't have the zipper up one. That was at the Rumble. But yeah, he's got like gym clothes on here. Some people speculate that the reason why The Rock was wearing this kind of stuff at this time was not because of these hardcore matches that he was having with Mankind, but it was because he had some kind of like surgery on his chest to remove tissue from it. And while it healed, he was covering it up. That's the theory. Don't know if it's true or not, but The Rock has mentioned that he did have gynecomastia from something. The Rock coming out from the match wearing his sunglasses still. Here comes Mankind. Here comes Mankind with the title belt. World Wrestling Federation champion. He's wearing a tie. The funniest thing about this is that his tie is a WWF tie that has The Rock's picture on it, along with his picture and Kane and some others, but The Rock's picture's on his tie. Now, if you're a fan at this time, in February '99, you would assume that The Rock will be winning the title because they have to head into WrestleMania 15, and most people are expecting the main event to be The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin because that's the biggest match they could make. But Mankind is kind of like almost like a third wheel around here, and there are rumors that Mankind was supposed to be figured into that main event at WrestleMania 15. But supposedly, somehow, somebody told somebody, I think Shawn Michaels might have said to Steve Austin that Mankind shouldn't be in the main event. I don't know. Mankind eventually ended up being a special guest referee during the main event of WrestleMania 15. Mankind is turning his back on The Rock, and the match has started, and putting his hands behind his back, basically egging on The Rock, taunting him, basically telling him, try whatever you want because there's nothing you can do to stop him from winning this match. So, I mean, basically Mankind is letting The Rock beat him up to start the match. Yeah, he's just taking shots from The Rock and not even trying to fight back. Maybe the strategy is he's trying to tire out The Rock. Let's see. Oh, The Rock has... Oh, wow. The Rock... Mankind took the WWF Championship belt and smacked it in Rock's head. Now Rock is lying flat on the mat. Earl Hebner, the referee, is starting to count him out. Let's see. Remember, if he can't answer a 10 count, match is over. Well, they're already up to 8. Okay, finally The Rock gets to his feet. Now Mankind is landing punches in the corner on The Rock. Oh, they're walking up the entranceway. And Mankind just clotheslined The Rock from behind. Okay, Mankind just threw The Rock into the staging area. They got these like metal things as decorations for the entrance. He just threw him into that. Okay, now they're trading punches. Everybody's chanting Rocky sucks. And now Mankind Irish whipped The Rock into that steel decorations near the entrance. There was a lot of fighting in the crowd during these Rock Mankind matches. Just fighting all over the ringside area, the arena, the entranceway. Very popular to do that during the Attitude Era. And that's what they're doing right now. They're still near the staging area, near the entrance. And Mankind just got Irish whipped into that steel decoration near the entrance. Now, Mankind has The Rock on a table, punching him. Now they're both on top of the table. That thing looks like it's about to snap. My goodness. Wow. DDT through the table. Mankind just DDT'd The Rock through the table. It's crazy. Oh. Ooh, that was they're lucky that table didn't snap under their weight. Now Mankind just picked up a case and rammed it into The Rock's stomach. All right, now Mankind is Mankind is trying to bring The Rock back to the entranceway. They're out there on the concrete, and The Rock just hit a backdrop on Mankind. Referee's counting them both down, but The Rock is he's on his feet now. So is Mankind. Punches by The Rock. Oh, The Rock is stomping on Mankind. They're in the entranceway right now. Oh, Mankind just Irish whipped The Rock into the steps. By the way, this is already the best match on the show so far. I mean, that's not really much of a surprise. Basically, this show had 2 fun matches at the beginning, and then a long period of time where nothing interesting happened. And now they're at the WWF title match. And of course, The Rock and Mankind are going to put on a show. All right, The Rock and Mankind are in the ring. Mankind is calling for something here. Scoop slam. He's going to do the people's elbow. Mankind is going to do the people's elbow. Well, it's the corporate elbow because The Rock calls it the corporate elbow. And he just tried to hit the elbow and The Rock moved out of the way. So he didn't hit it. And The Rock is furious because of the gimmick infringement there. So now he's stomping Mankind. The Rock and Mankind are outside the ring now. Rock's in control here. After Mankind missed that corporate elbow. The Rock just hit a suplex on Mankind on the outside, flat on the mat. Remember, there's no countouts, nothing. The Rock just hit another suplex on Mankind in the area between the ring and the barricade. A third suplex by The Rock on Mankind. The Rock is telling referee Earl Hebner to count out Mankind. If he gets to 10, The Rock wins. Okay, The Rock is at the commentary booth now. The Rock is just talking so much trash to Mankind. Oh, and he paid for it. Mankind just tackled The Rock at the commentary booth. And he's punching The Rock. Punching, 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 punching. So many unanswered punches by Mankind on The Rock. See, this was at a time when The Rock would get really arrogant in his matches. He was the heel. He was the bad guy. And he'd pay for it. That's exactly what happened here. Rock was in control. Now Mankind's in control because The Rock decided to be arrogant. Mankind is standing on the ring apron. Looks like he's going to drop an elbow to The Rock through the table. And he does. Not through the table, but still. Mankind is grabbing his knee, selling the knee that The Rock attacked earlier in the night. Earl Hebner is counting down The Rock. Mankind just woke up The Rock by pouring some water on him. Which is interesting because this is a last man standing match. So you can only win by having your opponent get counted down. So he actually helped The Rock get back up because he wants to dole out some more punishment on him. Now Mankind is throwing The Rock back in the ring. Mankind comes in. Oh no. Mankind is grabbing the steel steps. Throws the steel stairs back in the ring. All right, let's see if he hits The Rock with those steel steps. Mankind's got the steps above his head. Rock's in the corner. And Rock kicks the steel steps right into Mankind's face. Mankind is now flat on the mat. High risk. That's what happens. Now The Rock attacking that knee that he attacked earlier in the night. He's grabbing a steel chair, The Rock is. He's got a steel chair to the knee. A second steel chair shot to the knee. Number 3. Now Mankind is on the mat, flat, grabbing that knee. Left knee. Now Mankind's getting up. A 4th chair shot to the knee by The Rock. Man. 4 chair shots to the knee. Now Mankind's getting to his feet again. Oh, whoa! The Rock just went to hit Mankind with the chair. The chair hit the top rope instead because Mankind moved and ricocheted right back into Rock's face. He hit himself in the face with the chair. And then Mankind just clotheslined him over the top rope and went with him. The cactus clothesline. So now Mankind and The Rock are flat outside the ring. The referee is counting. Let's see if they get to their feet. Both guys are now on their feet. Mankind is calling for a pile driver on the outside. And The Rock is blocking it. That's one of the most memorable moments in this match. The Rock taking a steel chair, hitting the top rope with it, and the rope smacking him in the face. I mean, the chair smacking him in the face. Mankind just hit a neck breaker on The Rock on the outside. So he's still in control. But it never gets old seeing The Rock hit himself in the face with a chair. Okay, Mankind's got The Rock now. Just threw him right in front of the commentary table. Okay, now Mankind and The Rock are on top of the announce table. Crowd's going crazy here. They're all on their feet. He's going for a pile driver. Mankind is. Oh, wow, that didn't work. The Rock just flipped him over, and Mankind's knee hit the timekeeper's table. Yeah, Mankind's going for high risk in this match, and it's not paying off. The Rock is capitalizing on his mistakes. The referee is starting to count. Let's see if Mankind gets up. Oh, watch this now. The Rock has steel steps in his hand, and he just, oh my goodness. Again, this is like brutal stuff. He just dropped the steel steps onto Mankind's knee. The Rock is inside the ring. Mankind's outside the ring. I mean, think about that visual. Dropping the steel steps on his knee from that height. I'm telling you, The Rock and Mankind had some wars, and this is one of them. And their execution is outstanding. Oh, wow. They just showed The Rock, again, dropping those steel steps onto Mankind's knee. Again, they do stuff in their matches to make you more concerned about the people involved, instead, like the people behind the performers, because it's so brutal, and you know it hurts what they're doing. It legitimately hurts, some of the stuff they're doing. Oh, The Rock's calling for the people's elbow. Let's see if he hits it. Boom, he hits it. Corporate elbow on Mankind. Now The Rock is telling Earl Hebner to count him down. He thinks that should be enough. The Rock is asking for the microphone. Let's see what he has to say. The Rock's talking on the mic. He said he just proved why he is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment today. And the crowd was chanting along with him, even though he's a heel. Okay, he's telling Memphis that he's got a gift for them. He's singing Elvis Presley. A little remix of a Heartbreak Hotel. He calls it the SmackDown Hotel. Oh, but while he was acting arrogant, here we go again. Mankind gets the mandible claw on The Rock, and The Rock accidentally knocks the referee outside the ring. See, the story of this match is The Rock's arrogance has been getting him in trouble, and Mankind's high-risk efforts have backfired on him. So both guys are doing things that are ill-advised. Anyway, so Mankind just made The Rock pass out from the mandible claw, but the referee isn't around to count him down. See, these guys know how to have an epic main event match. And this is not even the main event. This WWF title match is the second to last match on the card. Obviously, the steel cage match between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin is the main event. See, the referee is counting slowly, and that, oh wow. And that allowed The Rock to break the count by low-blowing Mankind. There's no disqualifications. The Rock just hit a DDT on Mankind. Now the referee is counting both of them down. Remember, WWF title is on the line. Mankind's the champion. He's defending here. They're both on their feet. Oh, The Rock went to hit Mankind in the face with a steel chair. Double arm DDT on the steel chair by Mankind on The Rock. See, now that's a moment where the crowd actually thinks, okay, maybe Mankind has a chance of winning this match. Maybe he's going to win right here. Referee's counting. Let's see if The Rock gets up before 10. The Rock just made it to his feet, so the match continues. Now, Mankind just called for Mr. Sacco. He just pulled it out. Crowd's going nuts. They're on their feet. And Mankind just put Mr. Sacco in The Rock's mouth. And Rock hit another low blow on Mankind. And it didn't matter because the Mankind just locked in Mr. Sacco on The Rock, and then The Rock counters with a rock bottom. They know how to keep things interesting. So now it really is, now it's like, it's a toss-up now. Both of these guys have taken a lot of punishment. They've hit their finishing moves. There's nothing left to do. So the ending of the match should be coming. Yeah, ending's coming here, I bet. The Mankind's going for a steel chair. He's got one. The Rock's going for a steel chair. He's got one. And they just both hit each other in the head with the chairs at the same time. And these guys are down for the count. Earl Hebner's counting. 3 up to 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. That's it. It's over. Match is over. Double count out. Crowd is booing. Neither of them could get up. This match ends in a draw. Ooh, the crowd is not happy about that. WWF title match ending in a draw on a pay-per-view? Yeah, they don't like that. Especially after they've had to sit through some very mediocre matches. Yeah, the crowd's not happy about that because, you know, they haven't really gotten their money's worth really on this show. Not entirely so. But the thing about this being a draw, that makes people want to tune in to see Monday Night Raw the next night. So, you know, a lot of times back then, the companies cared just as much about ratings as they did about pay-per-view buys. They were equally important. So doing something like this with a draw in the WWF title match, that's going to make more and more people tune into Raw to see what's going to happen next. Now they got some medical professionals coming out here with gurneys to take out Mankind and Rock on gurneys. So we know there's only one match left. Steve Austin, Mr. McMahon, steel cage match. Let's see. Let's see if they give the fans what they want. One match left on this show. Like I said, up to this point, they had 2 fun matches to start the show. They had a bunch of average matches. And then they had a really good match between The Rock and Mankind. It's just the outcome was such a bummer because it ended in a draw. So it really is mostly just an average show so far, with the only match really worth watching being The Rock and Mankind's match. Everything else is sort of eh. But the hardcore match was fun between Al Snow and Hardcore Holly fighting in the Mississippi River. And The Rock is being gurneyed out, stretchered out. By the way, a spoiler, the very next night on Raw, The Rock and Mankind compete in a ladder match for the WWF Championship. And The Rock wins that one. And so The Rock gets to go to WrestleMania 15 as WWF Champion. But that Rock and Mankind feud that started at the end of 1998 and into 1999, one of the best WWF title rivalries ever. Definitely. Outstanding matches, outstanding promos, outstanding character work by both guys. And that's why I'm watching this today, because they did such entertaining stuff 25 years ago that totally eclipses anything that the WWE is doing today. Even though the WWE's business is doing extremely well, entertainment value was at an all-time high during the Attitude Era, during shows like this. Well, there's 2 ambulances. They're loading The Rock into one, Mankind into the other. And they will be brought to a hospital, presumably. And they show The Rock and Mankind leaving in these ambulances, kind of to remind the audience that The Rock is not available to help Vince McMahon in his cage match during the main event. Rock's not around. But there's other members of the corporation around, but, you know, Ken Shamrock already competed once tonight, lost his title. You had Big Boss Man compete earlier in the night. So let's see what happens in the main event, what kind of interference there might be. Now, if I had bought this show on pay-per-view at the time, it would probably have cost about $25 or $30. Would I be satisfied with my purchase? I'd have to say probably not, no. Because, I mean, most of this show feels like an episode of Raw. It doesn't feel spectacular. But sometimes WWF would put on, like, spectacular shows that really were worth the purchase price. Like, if you watch Fully Loaded 1999, SummerSlam 1999, those were epic shows. This is average so far. Let's see if McMahon and Austin can deliver in the main event. Right now they're showing a video package recapping some stuff that has happened between Austin and McMahon. They're showing Royal Rumble 1999 where Vince McMahon actually won the Royal Rumble match thanks to The Rock distracting Steve Austin. Yeah, but because Vince McMahon let go of his WrestleMania title opportunity that he earned by winning the Royal Rumble, Commissioner Shawn Michaels put Steve Austin in the world title match at WrestleMania. But Steve Austin said he will put his world title opportunity on the line in this steel cage match if Mr. McMahon agrees to face him, which Mr. McMahon did, because Mr. McMahon is trying to stop Steve Austin from ever becoming world champion again. Yep, they're showing Royal Rumble 99 footage where basically Austin was targeted by the corporation during the entire Royal Rumble match. They brought him outside the ring. They beat him up in the bathroom. They did everything they can to stop him from winning. And then even with all that, it looked like he almost was going to win until The Rock came out and put a stop to that. And remember, earlier in the night, McMahon spit in Steve Austin's face, trying to provoke him. Didn't work, because if Austin had attacked the Mr. McMahon before this match, he would have been fired. And Austin was able to control himself because he knows he's going to get McMahon one-on-one alone inside of a steel cage right here. And by the way, the steel cage they're using is not the usual fence type of cage that we see today. It's the old school cage with like these wide bars. It's colored black. They used to have it colored blue. This might have been one of the final times they ever used this type of a cage. It might have been the final time, actually. I don't remember them using this type of cage after this match. They started using I know they started using that fence cage at least by the summer of 1999, because I remember seeing a steel cage match with the fence structure between Triple H and The Rock. But this one here, they're putting together the steel cage right now, actually. It's funny that they're doing this right in front of everybody. Remember, this was on a pay-per-view. They're spending time on a pay-per-view showing this. They could have done that during the video package. I guess they're trying to burn time. If Mr. McMahon wins this match, they said that Steve Austin will lose his title opportunity at WrestleMania. So let's see who wins here. Here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do like the fact that the WWF did keep the shows relatively short. You know, they usually didn't go any more than 3 hours. They were usually like 2 hours, 40 something minutes to like just under 3 hours. I think that's a good length for a pay-per-view, because in recent years, the WWE has had a lot of 4-hour shows. I think that's too long. You know, stick to 3 hours or less. And the other problem is Raw these days, is often 3 hours. And that's excessive. There's no need for a show to be 3 hours long every week. 2 hours is enough. But they had it right back then. See, at this time, they had Monday Night Raw, which was 2 hours. They had Sunday Night Heat, which was 1 hour. And then they had pay-per-views once a month, which were about between 2 hours, 45 minutes and like 3 hours, which was perfect. And the entertainment value they were providing in those periods of time were off the charts entertaining. These days, they have a never-ending fountain of content that they're putting out there between Raw, which is 3 hours, NXT, I think is 2 hours, SmackDown is 2 hours. Then they have like online stuff like WWE Speed, which they have so much content. It's just overkill. Sometimes less is more. In the wrestling business, less is always more. Here comes McMahon. He's wearing a black tank top, showing off his enormous muscles. Enormous for a guy his age. Doesn't look natural, I'll tell you that much. Still to this day, the guy's jacked. Doesn't look natural at all. I mean, he does the work. He works out like a monster every day. But still, that's not natural for a man his age to look like this. He has the body of like a 20-year-old. So the question is, how did he achieve that? Well, I think we can all take a guess. Here comes Mr. McMahon climbing over the cage. Steve Austin's waiting for him. Middle of the ring. I don't even think they have a referee in there. It's literally them one-on-one, nobody in the... it's not often that you see that. Like a steel cage match where no referee is inside the ring. Because in this case, you can only win by escape. You can't win by pinfall or submission. You have to escape the cage. They should have more steel cage matches like that, where you can only win by escape. Instead, most steel cage matches today, you can win by pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage. Yeah, I don't really like that. They should only do escaping the cage. That makes the match unique. If you can win by pinfall or submission, then it's just like any other match. All right, Mr. McMahon is now maybe going to walk through the cage door. Austin's waiting for him. Oh, yeah, he's stalling. Mr. McMahon is walking around the ringside area, refusing to get in the ring with Austin. He's just trying to waste time. Now Austin is just going to come out after him. Okay. Austin just exited the cage. He's chasing McMahon. They're running around the ringside area, all the way around the ring. McMahon goes inside the cage to hide from Austin. Austin's trying to get in the cage. Mr. McMahon's kicking him out. Whoa. Okay, now Austin is climbing the side of the cage to try to get inside. McMahon is trying to stop him. He does not want to face. He does not want to face. He's trying to kick. McMahon is trying to kick Austin down, punch him down. McMahon is trying to do everything possible to prevent a one-on-one, face-to-face confrontation in the middle of the ring where nobody can help McMahon. Austin slipped and fell off the cage, so temporarily he's down. Apparently Austin hurt his knee falling off the side of the cage. I think he's just playing possum because he's trying to lure Vince McMahon outside the cage, and that is exactly what he did, because Austin just clotheslined McMahon outside the ring. Now he's grabbed Vince McMahon, slammed him into the announce table. Now he's having fun, and the crowd's going nuts. Oh man, he just hit him in the head with a fan. Austin just hit McMahon in the head with a fan. Austin just threw McMahon's head against the side of the cage. Now he just took this electrical cord, he wrapped it around McMahon's neck, he's choking him with it. See, the problem with a match like this is that Vince McMahon is very limited in what he can do. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's had some good matches in his career. Like after this, he had a good match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 22. He had a good match against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 19. Good match against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 17. But right now, it's mostly just him getting the heck beaten out of him by Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what's going on here. Austin just threw him into the fans. Now Austin just jumped the barricade. He's in the fans now. They're in the front row. Austin is stomping him. Austin just punched McMahon in the face. Remember, they're not in the cage. They're fighting in the ringside area or just inside the barricade in the front row where the fans are. They're not in the cage. Oh. Austin just threw McMahon into the steel stairs. McMahon raked the eyes of Austin. McMahon threw Austin into the side of the steel cage. McMahon. Remember, they're not in the cage. They're still outside the cage. Oh, Austin is chasing McMahon in the crowd. Austin's got McMahon in the crowd. They're in the middle of a sea of people. McMahon is trying to run away from Austin. Remember, this is a steel cage match. They haven't actually fought inside the cage yet. Wow. You got all the security personnel surrounding them because they're literally like the fans are on top of them. They can barely move. They're fighting. Austin's landing punches on McMahon. Well, the crowd's excited. At least they're having fun. They're having fun. I mean, it's a good idea to start the match this way so that when they actually do step inside the cage, the crowd's going to go nuts. It's good. It's a good way to tell this story because once they're alone inside that cage, they're really teasing that, like, because they've never, like, been in a situation where Austin and McMahon were enclosed in a space where no one can help McMahon. So this will be like the first time that happens. It'll just be Austin and McMahon, no one to save McMahon. At least theoretically. We'll see what happens. Austin's still punching McMahon. They're right outside the cage here. McMahon keeps like climbing the side of the cage and then Austin keeps dragging him down and punching him. And just slammed him into the side of the cage. Oh. Yeah, Austin has just basically been having his way with McMahon, which is one of the downsides of having a match like this. Because, like, you can't have Austin selling for McMahon, really. I mean, there's really no way for McMahon to gain an advantage here because there's no interference. There's nobody around to help him. Yet, anyway. All right. McMahon again, climbing the side of the cage. Austin is climbing right side by side with him. Oh, here we go. McMahon's gonna... Okay, now Austin just punched him again. He just rammed McMahon's head into the side of the steel cage. Remember, they're on the outside of the cage. Oh, wow. And I bet nobody was expecting what just happened, which is Austin just rammed McMahon's head into the steel cage and McMahon fell off right through the announce table. I gotta give credit to Vince McMahon for being very accurate with the way he fell. He literally had to jump off to make it to that table. Like, he couldn't fall straight down. He had to jump off, and with pinpoint accuracy, he went through the announce table. So credit to him, because it didn't look like that was what was going to happen. It was kind of a surprise. Whoa, and he hit right on the side. His spine hit right on the side of that table. He just made it. He just made the table, but it worked perfectly. It looked good, and it was surprising. Usually in these matches, you can kind of predict when there's going to be a table spot. This is one of the few times I've seen in a match where you didn't actually see that coming. Like, it kind of looked like McMahon might fall off the side of the cage, but not all the way through the announce table. So that was good, because they didn't take too much time to set it up. It all happened very quickly. Remember, they still haven't gone inside the cage to fight. Now, Steve Austin is standing by himself inside the cage. Yeah, they're bringing out a stretcher for McMahon here. McMahon is lifeless, laying flat, face down in the wreckage of that announce table. They're putting a neck brace around around McMahon. Oh man, they're treating him like he's acting like he's dead. And Austin is just standing in the ring with a smile on his face. Well, Austin is not gonna let this guy get stretchered out. But they're putting him on the gurney. He looks out of it. Howard Finkel, the ring announcer, was about to announce Steve Austin as the winner, or whatever. Austin grabbed the mic to prevent that from happening. He doesn't want to win this way. All right, now Austin climbing the cage. He asked the crowd, "Do you want me to finish finish this?" And they say, "Yeah." So Austin just exited the cage. He's now going after McMahon. McMahon is on a stretcher, being led to the backstage area. They're on the entrance ramp. Austin is pulling people off of him, and he's got the gurney. And he's wheeling the gurney, and he just threw it up against the side of the cage. And McMahon just hit the side of the cage face first. Oh, wow. He just hit McMahon in the back with a backboard. Oh, in the stomach with the backboard. Remember, this is a steel cage match. It hasn't started yet. Not really. Because they haven't both entered the cage. Here we go, finally. But see, this was smart. The way they set this up, now the crowd is so amped up just to see them walk into the cage. See, that's smart booking by whoever thought this up. The bell rings, crowd going bananas. Now, Austin finally has his hands on McMahon. Nobody to help McMahon. He just clotheslined him. Austin drops an elbow on McMahon from the second rope. Austin, second elbow from the second rope onto McMahon, who is flat on his back in the middle of the ring. This is not really much of a match, but hey, credit to Vince McMahon for that table spot. That table spot really made this match so far. McMahon is pretty much down and out, and Austin is about to walk right outside the cage, And he stops, and McMahon is giving him the middle finger. Austin could have won the match right here. But Austin is closing the cage door, walking back inside the ring. And he just punched McMahon in the face, punched McMahon again. Kicked McMahon, kicked him again. Kick, 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 stomping a mud hole in McMahon. Low blow to Steve Austin by Vince McMahon. Which makes sense. I mean, that's the only way McMahon could ever land any offense in a match like this. Now McMahon, he's climbing the cage. He is on the outside of the cage, McMahon is. Austin grabbed McMahon. McMahon in the cage, halfway. And Austin basically just flipped him over into the cage. Now Austin, he's got McMahon in the middle of the cage. He's about to throw McMahon into the side of the cage, head first. Mr. McMahon is bleeding, and Austin just threw him into the side of the steel cage again. Remember, Austin can win this match anytime he wants. This thing is over. Austin is climbing the steel cage. Is he going to win now? McMahon bleeding. And Austin, he's hanging on the side of the cage, but Mr. McMahon just gave him double middle finger. So he's climbing back inside of the cage. He's not done yet. McMahon's trying to escape. Austin stopped him from escaping. Oh, wow. McMahon is basically done here. I mean, Austin's just having his way with him. He could have won this match multiple times over already. But he wants to punish McMahon. Will that backfire? We will find out very shortly. Now Austin just punched him. Now Austin. Going for Stone Cold. Just hit the Stone Cold Stunner. Hits the stunner on McMahon. There's something under the ring. And Paul White just came out from under the ring. This is Paul White's debut. Paul White, better known as the Giant in WCW, jumps ship to the WWF and makes his debut on this night, attacking Stone Cold Steve Austin in this cage match. He just took Steve Austin, threw him into the side of the cage. This was before they renamed Paul White as The Big Show. Paul White is carrying Steve Austin, and he just threw him into the side of the cage. And Austin escaped the cage. Because Paul White picked up Steve Austin, threw him into the side of the cage. The steel cage opened up because of the force that Paul White threw Steve Austin, and Steve Austin wins the match because he escaped the cage. And that's what made the Attitude Era so great. Surprises like this, people jumping back and forth between WCW and WWF. You get a big surprise like this on a pay-per-view, the debut of Paul White. Of course, it backfired, and Steve Austin won the match anyway. But hey, you got a new main event character with Paul White, the Big Show. And this was when Big Show was very young. He was only about 26 or 27 years old at the time. But it makes everyone want to tune in to Monday Night Raw the next night, because now you got this new guy who came in, Paul White, the Big Show. You had The Rock and Mankind have a draw, so you know that issue isn't resolved and they're going to have another match, which they do. They have a ladder match on the following Raw. This is the kind of captivating entertainment they were providing 25 years ago. And I don't know why they don't just look back at this era and they have a blueprint for how to create such an exciting show. Instead, they choose to go in a different direction. They prefer to drag out storylines for many, many, many months, even though everyone can see what's going to happen well in advance. That's what they do these days. Back then, there were a lot of surprises, a lot of unpredictability. That's why it was edge of your seat entertainment. And now they're showing replays of what just happened. Paul White is now lifting up Vince McMahon. And that is the conclusion of WWE's or WWF's St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999. Thank you for watching.